In the early 1870s, the Osage tribe was forcibly removed from their land by the U.S. government and sent to live in Oklahoma, where they were considered to have no value. After negotiations between the Osage people and the U.S. authorities, they made an agreement that the Osage people would be entitled to all the minerals on the land, including oil, gas, and coal. The government agreed to this because it was already an unproductive land of rock and soil. After the discovery of large oil deposits in the area in 1894, the Osage, who held the mineral rights, amassed an enormous fortune. Prospectors had to pay the tribe oil extraction rents as well as royalties. William Hale, a white American farmer who proclaimed himself King of the Osage, established close relations with the Osage people and befriended them. In fact, there was only one thing he wanted: the Osage's fortune. To do this, he knew that if they, as white Americans, married Osage women, they could inherit their husband's wealth in the event of their death. Molly Kyle was the daughter of one of these families who had great wealth. William Hale persuaded his nephew Ernest to marry Molly, a rich Osage woman, to steal his family's fortune. Hale thought that the early death of Molly, who was diabetic, would not be strange and would not be investigated. But before Molly, he planned the poisoning deaths of Molly's sister Minnie and her mother Lizzie Q. Molly's other sister Retta was killed in an apartment explosion. For Hale, it was time to eliminate Molly, where all the wealth remained. William Hale, who always wanted to be the owner of money and power, asked him to poison her with needles so that the inheritance could go to his nephew Ernest. Until then, the deaths in Molly's family and the deaths in other families had gone unnoticed, and the cause had not been investigated. Either they had been poisoned by something they had eaten, or there had been an explosion in their house. Molly's other sister, Anna Brown, was shot in the back of the head, which created a breaking moment. Molly wanted to draw attention to these murders and wanted to go to Washington, but the shooting death prompted FBI Detective Tom White and other detectives to come from Washington. After the detectives' investigation, the uncle and nephew are arrested and put on trial. But for Ernest, his collaboration with his uncle has come to an end. Even though he has betrayed his love, he confesses everything and snitches on his uncle, ensuring that Hale is sentenced to life in prison.